Burrow going to give this to Mixon. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it.
Well, any lane that might have been open there was closed pretty quickly, and that was because the defensive front, they won that battle at the point of attack at the line of scrimmage. They used great leverage, held their spot, and stacked him up.
The last run good for 2. Here's 2nd and 8. Once again, they run with Mixon. And very little daylight there. They'll get a couple up to the 44. For the Bengals had the remarkable run to the Super Bowl last year, but one team that gave them trouble were these New York Jets. You might remember back in Week 8, it was the Jets rallying behind backup Mike White, who threw for 405 yards and 3 touchdowns, and a 34-31 New York victory over the Bengals. This defense looking for an early stop. This is 3rd down and 6. Here's Burrow setting up to throw it. Man open, that's Jamar Chase complete. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A first down and then some. Give him 29 yards.
I don't care how many times we say it, I still get a kick out of watching quarterbacks and receivers do the pass tree in pregame warm-up. But I always remember that when we go to practices, we see that after practices as well. They really tune it up, don't they?
They tune it up. They know why they do it for these situations. First down.
And they build that trust, and that's why they're able to find him in this type of a situation.
11 more yards that go around. A first down as well. Try a jet sweep here with Higgins. Try to find a lane, but instead he'll get back to the line of scrimmage. And no more. Credit the tackle to John Franklin Myers. Defensively, they had that one pretty well figured out.
Yeah, and one of the things about this play, it can be even more effective when you run a lot of motion, and there's plenty of times you don't hand it off.
Throwing on 2nd down. Burrow. Throwing over the middle, and it's incomplete.
I can see more of them trying to get him the football out of the backfield. They love what he can do in open space, and they believe that he creates mismatches they can exploit.
Here comes the 7th play of this opening drive. They've moved it well, but here's 3rd down. Now it's Burrow. Firing quickly here, and that's complete. And oh, he's just going to be short here, barely. Maybe by a half a foot. It'll be 4th and inches.
Well, it wasn't a big strike, but that completion put them in really great range. What do we have now, 4th and inches?
Yeah, it's not more than a half a foot.
You know what I would do here?
You would always go for it.
I'm one of those guys.
And he has the first down before he's tackled at the 5. They only needed a few inches, and they didn't get much more than that, but by about the width of a shoelace, they convert on 4th down. First and goal, a chance for an early statement here on the road. They'll give it to Mixon. And he is in. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon, his first rushing touchdown on the year. And the Bengals get the upper hand as they're on the board first here this afternoon. A long opening drive, but a very successful opening drive. We call that methodical, I guess, when it takes that many plays.
Methodical and almost like a boxing match where you're hitting them with body blows. They can withstand them here. Look, they gave up the touchdown, but you don't feel like a knockout is there. But they keep doing that in the fourth quarter. That's when the knockout occurs.
And it becomes tough for that defense if they're on the field that long. We'll see if they can continue that in future drives. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Wilson leading the Jets up now for a 1st and 10 at their 25-yard line. Now the first running back drafted in April, this is Breece Hall. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. They'll break the huddle, come up on 2nd and 8 at the 27-yard line. Now it's Wilson. And that one going to be off target and incomplete. Charles, already trailing by a touchdown early. This offense, how imperative is it for them to get points out of this drive?
Well, they feel like they have to go ahead and match because of what was already on the board against their defense. But I think even more so, you just want to avoid 3 and outs. You want to be able to stay on the field for a little while, let your defense catch their breath a little bit, even if you don't score any points.
55, watch the screen, watch the screen. Black strap. 155, 155.
Quarterback, don't get nervous now. We ain't beginning to turn you up.
On 3rd down, Wilson. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off by Michael Thomas. And the Bengals are going to take possession of the football. That throw, Charles, over the middle of the field, and a few too many bodies in there got picked.
That's a normal situation, too, isn't it? No matter how hard you try and spread the field sometimes, there's always going to be a traffic jam, it feels like, towards the middle. And if there's any type of a missed throw or maybe the ball's tipped or just too many bodies in the area, an interception can result.
Meanwhile, Burrow's throw here on target to Hurst. And he gets it inside the 10 to the 9. That one good for 17 yards, and now they've got it 1st and goal.
How about the way they're moving the ball down the field? They had a big play a moment ago, followed it up with another nice one here, and before you know it, they're already looking at 1st and goal.
Mixon with a 1st down carry. And a nice pickup there. He gets about 5 down to the 4-yard line.
He's already scored once. He definitely had his eyes wide open trying to get in there a 2nd time, but I thought that was a really nice play defensively to deny him.
Yeah, it was. As you said, keeping him away from his 2nd first-quarter touchdown there. Second down and goal. Burrow. This goes out wide from Mixon. Touchdown, Bengals. Joe Mixon. His 2nd touchdown of the game. His 3rd on the year. And the Bengals lead this now 13-0 here in the opening quarter of the ball game. They've got to be thrilled on the road right now. Touchdown, turnover, touchdown, and quickly trying to make it 14-0.
Yeah, and mentioned it already. On the road, to be able to go into someone else's house and establish a start like that, obviously your confidence rises in a big way, and you're putting some doubt in their minds.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And it's now 14-0. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. Charles, it's kind of gut check time. Look, I know it's early, first quarter, just their second drive of the game, but they've already thrown the interception, given up the score. You're down double digits. They got to figure out something, and pretty quickly here.
No doubt about it. And when we look at that sideline, I'm sure you're observing the same thing I am. I don't like the body language at all. They look like they're in a state of stunned disbelief. So to me, we always talk about someone stepping up and making a big play. I think it would behoove them if multiple guys step up and make big plays right now. They need something positive to happen, and they need for it to happen now.
And he'll have a Jets first down as the tackle made here at the 36. And that looked like some pretty easy yardage there right up the gut.
And he's a guy that has some height to him. So when you don't have to drop a shoulder or create or get through contact or trash, makes it a lot easier to stay upright, see the field, and make a run as we just saw there.
On 1st and 10, it's Hall. And taken down just shy of the 40. Well, this defense for the Bengals, much improved from week 1. They were terrific last week in getting their guys their first win of the season.
This defense certainly has a lot to be proud of coming off of last week's game, because when you only give up 14 points in a contest, you give your team a great chance to win. The best defense in the league is usually going to average giving up 18, 19 points a game. So to be under that, a terrific achievement.
Give him 4 on the carry, and it'll make this a 3rd and about 2.
Typically, we think it's the strong safeties that are better tacklers, especially closer to the line of scrimmage amidst traffic. But in this case, how about the free safety coming up and making the big-time play?
And a nickel look here for the Bengals as they try to defend this on 3rd. They'll run with Hall. And he's going to be a yard short. A 2-yard pickup leads to 4th and 1. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. $14-0 the score. This is the NFL on EA Sports. They'll go for it. It's Hall. And he's got the first down. Yardage before being taken down at midfield. A big roll of the dice on 4th and 1, but it pays off. They convert. I love those plays. 4th and 1, that's who wants it more, this time the offense.
Yeah, there's a lot of hooting and hollering in there, right? A lot of contact and a lot of collisions as they try and find some space. Who's going to drop their hips, gain leverage, and move the other side backwards? We saw it there for the offense getting it done.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Okay, so the personal foul penalty, and those are some important yards lost right there.
Yeah, it all comes down to discipline, doesn't it? And every team tells us that they coach it, they preach it. In this case, it slipped a little bit.
So now a fresh set of downs, 1st and 10 after roughing the passer.
51 to Mike, 51.
Ball again. And nothing much materializing there on the first down run. He'll get a couple, and that's it. Not a whole lot there. The defense was ready, it looked, for that run-pass option.
You get the sense that next time he has that opportunity, he may keep it himself and get to the perimeter. Probably owes his back a little bit of an apology on that one, huh?
2nd and 8 coming from the 19. Now they'll throw it with Wilson. His pass complete to Ruckert. And he is out of bounds, but first he gets it inside the 10 to the 7. First catch for him. It's good for a dozen and a first down.
Well, these guys have definitely been outplayed in the first half, but I like their countenance. I like the way that they haven't panicked out there, the way they're carrying themselves. They're starting to move the ball, and what you have to do, maintain your poise and start to put together some drives.
Wilson. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down. Some of the fans here don't seem too happy about what we've seen in this first half.
No, not at all, and I understand why. They look lethargic, out of sync, and it shows on the scoreboard.
They'll try again here from the 7 on 2nd and goal. On 2nd down, a run with Hall. And he's brought down right at the 5-yard line. Give him 2 on the play. This has been a long drive. You got to figure a field goal would be a letdown. Can they convert now on 3rd and goal?
Switch gears, switch gears. 80 weapon, 80 weapon. Alpha.
Mike 51, Mike 51. Hey, let's calm down. Hey, let's go. Let's call the prep.
I'm going to run you over. I'm going to run you over. 51.
From the gun, it's Wilson. Eluding the pressure right. And that is incomplete, but a penalty flag coming in. This could be a first down. And since the penalty occurred in the end zone, move the ball to the 1-yard line.
1st and goal from the 1-yard line. Costly penalty.
So the ball's moved to about the 1 after the penalty. 1st and goal.
Tighten up, tighten up, tighten up. Recall, 132 fight. Anyway. 57's Mike. Mike 57.
How about that? Give me that ball, defense. Give me that ball. Give me that ball, defense.
Check it back.
Here's Wilson. And this will be caught in the end zone. Touchdown, Jets. Well, there you go, Charles. His first touchdown pass of the new season.
Well, let's just go back to his rookie year because he's able to get his feet wet, right? Get a little bit of experience. Now I think here in year 2, the game will slow down for him, and we'll see his true talents come out.
Zerline connects on the extra point, and that'll make our score 14-7. Now after the touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. Brandon Wilson now from his end zone. And a nice job there on special teams to limit him to inside the 15 as he's dropped it to 14. The Bengals drive about to get going. Well, this offense looks like they have a little extra pep in their step as they take the field here for drive number 3, because remember, Charles, drives 1 and 2 both ended in the end zone.
Yeah, right now they've just got to be careful not to lean into overconfidence because every drive has a life of its own. But I like the way that they've started, the way that they're going about doing things right now. They've got a chance for that 3rd consecutive touchdown, and that would be a crushing blow to the defense.
back to Mixon on second down. Room here to run. There he goes left side. Past the 20. And all the way in for a Cincinnati score. Joe Mixon on his way to a monster game. 3 first-half touchdowns. And the Bengals are able to strike quickly to add on to their lead. So, Charles, that's 3 touchdowns on 3 drives, and it's just been an offensive barrage so far.
Great word, partner, using barrage right there. I'm going to add another word if you don't mind. How about perfection? No surprise that they're leading right now. Absolute dominance throughout this ball game and no signs of slowing down.
The kickoff for Cincinnati.
Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. A strong showing their last time out. They scored the touchdown, but, Charles, they look up, and they're still down double digits, so you feel like just to keep pace, this drive probably needs to end in the end zone as well.
Yeah, and I think the best move for them is to not worry about how far they are down on the scoreboard, but to just remember the last drive and how it ended. Go ahead and try and repeat that. Then you can look at the scoreboard and see where this game is.
The Jets at 1-1 through 2 games thus far. It's not a start that's going to set the world on fire, but they've been pretty solid nonetheless.
And the first thing that crosses my mind, it certainly beats the alternative of starting 0-2. I do think that this is a team that's going to take a little time to find its footing. Hard to navigate the always tough NFL.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Straight ahead is Hall, and he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, so now they deal with 3rd and 11.
The running lanes have definitely not been there for him here in the first half, and I don't think it's all been his fault. His offensive line hasn't given him much space. A loss results there.
The Bengals with 2 extra DBs, a nickel look on 3rd.
Blanketing the passing lanes.
Here's Wilson. This pass out wide to Hall. And, boy, he is very close to a first down, but from where they're spotting that football, he's going to be a foot or so short. They'll get 11, but still a little short. 4th down. Instead of throwing it downfield, Charles, they just tried to dump it underneath there. Do you like the call?
I do. I think it's a high-percentage play because you get the completion, and what you're counting on is your back to use his legs and his elusiveness to make people miss and pick up the first down. In this case, it didn't happen.
Giving to the big tight end on 4th. And he gets this one across midfield for the first down to the 46. So this drive going to continue following the conversion on 4th. Here's 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 46-yard line.
A carry here for the big tight end. And he's going to be met at about the 43. A short gain of just over 2 yards as the first half clock dips inside of 3 minutes. On 2nd and 7, Wilson got his man complete over the middle. It's Wilson. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals' 32-yard line. Here's Wilson to throw. Open man here is Conklin. And they'll work this down inside the 30. 2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, coming up at halftime, Jonathan Coachman will join us from Orlando with our halftime report. But business to take care of before we get there.
A 2-minute drill before the coach's 2-minute drill.
Got it here at the 29 on 2nd and 8. Second down and a run by Robinson. Stopped at the 24-yard line after a gain of 5.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
They'll come to the line, needing only 2 yards to gain the first here.
You ain't doing nothing today. Under 10, 10.
On third down, here's Hall. And he will have a first down at about the 21-yard line. 3 yards there, good enough to keep the drive moving.
I haven't met a football team yet that runs the ball successfully that doesn't talk about having an attitude to be a running football team, right? You got to be able to put your nose in there, smell where the first down sticks are, and get there.
Here we go. Set. 50. Clear. Defense. Out of time. It's out of time.
On first down, right back to Hall. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. That loss of 3, a rare stumble on a promising drive. Here's 2nd and 13.
51 to Mike. 51 to Mike.
Check pass, check.
Blue dot Quirkers. Blue dot Quirkers.
Throwing is Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to the tight end. And he'll be brought down at about the 23-yard line. Now whistles and a timeout with 3 seconds left in the first half.
Good job. Good job.
So 3 seconds here remain in the half. On is the field goal unit to see about getting 3 points. This a 40-yard attempt from the left hash. Zerline's kick is up and through. And that will do it for this first half. So we reach halftime here in a 10-point game. As we'll send you down the coast now to Orlando, that's where we find Jonathan Coachman, ready with our EA Sports halftime report. Coach. The Jets going to get the football first, and they trail as well as we get back underway in this second half. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And right out of the gate, they face what you'd think could be a pretty important drive.
I would say so. You know, they're down 2 scores. That's not the end of the world. It wasn't the strongest of first halves, but for them to start calling back, they've got to start putting a little pressure on that defense, start cutting into this deficit. You can't have 3 and outs and expect to get that done.
First and 10 at the 39-yard line.
So from the 39 now, they'll come up on a 1st and 10.
Check. Check. Hot.
All on a give up the middle. And not a whole lot of room to operate there on the 1st down run. He gets maybe 3. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the 1st half, and that's sort of continuing here in the 3rd quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
On 2nd and 7, Wilson. A quick throw, but incomplete.
You can tell they wanted to get that ball downfield, but they had nothing working in the secondary, so he dropped it off to the running back. That one ended up incomplete.
This offense in desperate need of a conversion as they come up on 3rd down.
57's Mike. Mike 57. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen. Watch the screen.
Check 37. Check 37.
Mike's 57. 57's Mike. Let's go.
They go play action now. Wilson. The Bengal pressure gets him that time. Down he goes. Sam Hubbard in there to get him for a loss of 9 yards, and that also leads to 4th down. Here's the Jets punter now. And surprisingly, this is the first punt of the game for either team. He punted 4 times in the loss last week as he gets this one away here. And a nice job here to down this one right on the 5-yard line.
That is how you flip field position. That's an absolute bomb of a punt. Downs it inside the 5-yard line. Absolutely ideal.
From that position, you're hoping to get it down inside the 15, inside the 5. Superb.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going.
Here we go. 180. Stop.
Here's Joe Mixon as they start on the ground. And this is going to double their room to maneuver, able to get it from the 5 to the 10-yard line.
I think they're ahead of schedule now after that run. They might be bold with this 2nd down call after that type of a gain.
Let's get set. 180. Raise up.
Watch the screen.
11 mighty. 11. Stop.
2nd and 5 now. Burrow. And that'll be incomplete. Took a pretty good shot as he tried to pull that one in. Couldn't hang on 3rd down.
And partner, to me, that one was all about timing. If he's there too early, it's going to be a pass interference call. If he's too late, it's a completed pass. He was Johnny on the spot on that one.
They come up now 3rd and 5 following the incomplete pass.
11.
Play action. It's Burrow. And he will not be able to hang on through the contact. It's incomplete. The coverage strong, and now it's 4th down. The Bengals bring out their punter now, as his first punt will come from inside his own end zone. And this is away. It's a high kick, and he got all of it. And here comes Berrios. And he'll be out of bounds, but able to get it up past the 45. Good blocking there, nearly sprung him. As it is, it'll go as a 19-yard return. And the Jets will take over. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And our game's hit a little bit of a lull here, a little bit of a snag. Punts on back-to-back drives.
And old-school coaches don't necessarily mind that. Didn't turn it over, right? Didn't create a big play for the other team. Right now, what you're looking for is, can you gain an advantage in field position? And that's what both teams are seeking right now.
Yeah, they'll be seeking to gain that advantage here on this drive. From just shy of midfield, Wilson firing quickly, but it's incomplete.
Another attempt, another incompletion. And when I look at the scoreboard and where we are in this game, it comes to mind that they have to start getting the ball in the hands of their playmakers. Throw it to the guys that maybe can take a short pass and turn it into a long gain or make people miss downfield. They've got to have points And the guys who can put the ball in the end zone, they're the ones that need to touch the ball.
Here we go. Kill, kill, kill. Turn up. Kill, kill. Chopper. Chopper. Mike 51.
He don't know no better.
Move. Mike 51.
Here's a give to Hall. Calling no gain there, and it leads to a 4th down.
No gain on the play. It's 4th down.
Switch. Switch. Go. 51's the Mike. 51's the Mike.
Not here. Go, Mike 51. Mike 51.
They'll try and throw for it with Wilson. It's a short one here, complete to his tight end. And he is going to have a Jets first down as they manage to convert, and that'll keep the drive alive. Give them credit. They knew what they wanted to dial up on 4th. They executed it for 9 yards, and the offense stays out there.
H3, 218. Chopper, chopper.
On 1st and 10, it's Wilson. And he's got the hook up to Moore. And all the way inside the 15 before they drop it. Call that a very strong gain of 24.
Elijah Moore really started to come on in the 2021 season as a rookie out of Ole Miss. Saw 8 or more targets in 4 of his last 5 games and ended up leading the team in yardage. Expect to see a lot more first downs like we just saw there in this young man's future.
Now Wilson, and he rifles one incomplete.
Just what they need, a lecture from me, but subpar offense is what helped get them into this spot. And now they're continuing the trend with incompletions. That won't get them out of it if they don't change something soon.
An incomplete pass on 1st down. That leads to a 2nd and 10.
Hey, Mike 51.
Again, Wilson. They'll set up the screen for Hall. And all the way to the 2-yard line there before crossing over out of bounds. It's a nice pickup of 12 yards, and it gives them a 1st and goal.
Well, they certainly had their share of troubles running the football in this one, but this play is almost an extension of the running game right here. They set up the screen, let him work out in space on the perimeter, and he turns it into a big pickup.
They're going to go with a tight end here on the running play. And he is in. Touchdown, New York. C.J. Uzomah. His 2nd touchdown on the season. And the Jets have got it back to within a score. Zerline good with a PAT. And the lead is down to a field goal. The touchdown, it's Zerline. He'll kick it away. From his end zone, Wilson. And only able to get this to the 19, so probably should have opted for the touchback.
Here we go.
The Bengals drive about to get going. Pretty important 3rd quarter drive for them. Momentum has sort of shifted the other direction after that last touchdown as they nurse this small lead. Now this one into the hands of the tight end, Hayden Hurst. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. First play of the drive going for 14 and a 1st down.
And what a nice example there of a tight end doing exactly what he needs to do. How about how he worked his way to the outside, made sure he secured the catch? And then anything after that, we count that as a bonus. And indeed, he gets enough for the 1st down.
Here's Chase now on the jet sweep. And he'll get this only up to about the 35. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
Let's just make this one succinct. Nice job there. All 11 guys on defense diagnosing the jet sweep and putting it down.
Here we go.
2nd down and 8. Mixon running wide side. He'll be dropped shy of the 40 despite powering through the tackle. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a third and about 4 more for a first.
He was hoping to get to the edge, but they did a really nice job of forcing him back inside. That's excellent fundamental defensive football. Don't let them outside where they can really shred your defense.
In search of 4 yards here to pick up the first down. Burrow will throw. Got a man. It's Chase. He completes it. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. A big play there on the catch and run. 32 yards.
On third down, it's very simple. Make sure you get beyond the sticks, make the catch, pick up the first down. But in this case, he turned it into bonus time and was off to the races for a monster play.
Burrow going to give this to Mixon. Down at the 25.
I feel like I could see what he was thinking on that carry. He wanted to follow that big tackle through the hole. Ended up only getting 4 yards on the carry. I think he had designs on that one being bigger.
They go play action with Burrow. He's got his big tight end. That's Hurst. And he'll go out of bounds in the red zone just inside the 20. 7 yards there and a first down.
And the tight end is certainly a position built to move the chains because they can control space underneath. If they've got good hands, then, of course, they're a dynamic target. But one other thing is they're right in the sight lines of a quarterback on just about every play. And that makes it easier for the quarterback to pick him out and deliver.
So from the 17 now, here's a 1st and 10. From the red zone now, they'll look to throw. Again, that's Hurst. And he'll be brought down on what's going to turn out to be the final play of this third quarter. It'll be 1st and goal when we come back. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. So 1st and goal, 6 points here would go a long way toward wrapping this one up. They go back to the ground now with Mixon. It's a gain of a yard, and it'll set up 2nd and goal.
The yards may start getting a little tougher to come by down here near the goal line. That's good work defensively. They're on 1st down, holding them to a short gain.
This drive's taken more than 3 minutes off the clock already as they come up on 2nd down. And he gets halfway there from the 6 to the 3 on a gain of 3.
Well, they made the play there, and I'll guarantee you their coaches and the other players are screaming at them about their pride. Come on, guys. He's already gotten in 3 times. You can't give up a 4th one. And on that play, they were able to make the stop.
And you knew they were going to go to him to try to get that 4th.
And why wouldn't they? It's not just getting the 4th. He's the hot hand.
And this time he is in.
Yes.
Joe Mixon, a 3-yard touchdown run. And the Bengals will add to their 4th quarter lead. And let's not forget he had the receiving touchdown earlier. Now a trio of rushing touchdowns. Quite a performance.
Diversification, that's all you can talk about. His ability to do everything leaves him on the field on every down on offense because you can hand it to him as we've seen. What'd you say, 3 rushing touchdowns? And, of course, throw it to him where he's caught 1 as well.
Extra point by McPherson, up and good. And his guys will take a 10-point lead. After the touchdown, McPherson on to kick this one away. And this will be a touchback. Berrios deciding not to bring it out. Jets offense coming up now to start their next drive. And you figure after giving up that last touchdown, they trail by 2 scores here in the fourth quarter. This drive becomes very critical. And past the 40 before he's out of bounds. An excellent way to start the drive there, 18 yards.
This possession means so much for them. They've got to focus on this drive and find a way to make this a one-possession game.
Yes.
Got to get a score.
Yeah, so good with a field goal. Don't necessarily need a touchdown. Sliding out of the pocket. On the run, he'll let this go deep right side. And this one nearly picked off. Kind of surprising to see a defender of his caliber let it get away, but get away it does, and it's second down.
Give it big credit for his coverage right there, because when he saw the route break deep, he stayed in position to prevent a completion while avoiding any risk of a flag.
After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10.
Check 24. Check 24. Switch. Check 43.
Out of the gun, they run it with Hall. And he'll be taken down just shy of midfield. And this offense on 3rd down today, they've had their troubles. Just 1 for 6. This is 3rd and 4. Now it's Wilson. All right, rifles one, and that's going to be intercepted. There he goes, right side. And he will bring it back. It's a pick 6 for a Bengals TD. So a fourth quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
And McPherson on for the extra point. And that'll make this a 3-score game as the lead moves to 17.
McPherson to kick off for Cincinnati.
So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. And this will be a touchback. Barrios deciding not to bring it out. The New York offense taking over for their next possession. And that last pick 6 may have been the backbreaker as they now face a 3-score deficit in the fourth quarter. They need points quickly. And some space here. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 17 yards on the play as they try to eat into this 17-point deficit.
And that's not a play that you see all that often at the start of a drive, but some teams, they don't mind doing it. And that one, well sold by the offensive lineman. They showed the pass, and then they got out into space, able to get some good blocks downfield and allow the play to be successful.
On the draw, it's Hall. And boy, this defense again really making things tough on him as they stop him for no gain. Seems pretty obvious defensively a key was stopping the run game. How have they done it so successfully?
To me, it seems that these guys really did a nice job of paying attention during the scouting report meeting. And you know, Brandon, when they do those, they talk about the top plays that these guys like to run. The best runs for the top running back, those are the ones you focus on and want to take away. And they've done that pretty successfully in this game.
57's the mic. Watch 57. You can't block me. Two, fellas, let's go. 57's the mic. 57's the mic.
Now Wilson. He finds Corey Davis. And he's got another first down as the tackle's going to be made at the Bengals 43. The Jet passing game in rhythm. They've got another first. A 3-score game here late. You can probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
And he's going to be taken down at the 28-yard line.
And this was a nice example of an offensive coordinator scheming his guy open. Just a little underneath route, just trying to free up some space, and it worked awfully well. Got him not just space, but plenty of room to run after the catch to pick up really nice yardage.
Now Wilson on first down. Flush to his right. Looking for the end zone. And this one is incomplete.
That's coverage you'd expect to see in a tie game late. Not in a lopsided game like this. They are not letting up.
So after the incompletion on first, now 2nd and 10. To throw again is Wilson. This will be caught inside the 10. And he's brought down, but not before he reaches the 8-yard line. 5th catch of the afternoon, and that gives him a first down.
I tell you what, it looks like he's shaking off that pick 6 just fine. It's not just defensive backs that have to have short memories. Quarterbacks utilize that as well. A much more confident throw right there.
1st and goal, and they got to be thinking a chance to get right back into this football game. Wilson. Looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
Brandon, some of those windows to throw the football that exist when you're between the 20s, they don't exist when you're this close to the goal line. But as a former DB, I liked it closer to the goal line. Tighter windows made it easier to cover people, actually.
Nothing on first down, so the ball remains at the 8-yard line, 2nd and goal.
Race don't travel. Race don't travel.
51, Mike, 51.
We got to get the ball, D. Get the ball right here. Let's go. Nice 7. Let's go.
Throwing again here, Wilson. And it's intercepted at the goal line. And the Bengals are going to take possession here at their own 3-yard line.
Let's face it, Brandon, they're down here in the second half. Want to try and make something happen, and if you're the guy with the ball in your hands, you're going to try even harder. Because I think all he was trying to do was to get outside the pocket and see if he can find a big play downfield.
The Bengals drive about to get going. And after the interception, they are sitting in an even better spot with the ball and a comfortable 4th quarter lead. And he'll get him a little bit of breathing room across the 5 to the 6-yard line. Call it a gain of 4 on first, and that'll make it 2nd down. And in this situation with the lead 4th quarter, they're liking keeping the ball on the ground, I'm sure.
That's just smart football, but you know the defense has to know it as well. They've got to stop them here. So now we're going to see that loading the box in a big way. 6, 7, 8, 9, whatever it's going to take, puts a little bit more pressure on your big offensive line.
And maybe a measure of revenge there. He's had his way in this one, but this time they get him behind the line. The Jets are going to use the first of their timeouts. It's just their first. They'll be down to 2 remaining as we step aside here in the 4th quarter. They'd like to avoid punting from their own end zone so they could use something here on 3rd down. Now Burrow. That one taken in by T. Higgins. And they work this out past the 25. Last play they got stuffed at the line. Different story here, over 20 yards. And defensively they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front. Defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
They show run with 3 tight ends here on first down. They try to eat some clock with Mixon. And he's got a Bengals first down as he's got this up to the 40-yard line.
Well, that's a carry they have to be satisfied with. And throughout this game, they've been satisfied with what he's given them. Whenever they've needed a big run, a first down, he's the guy they've turned to. And it doesn't matter what the defense thinks. They feel like they've got the confidence to keep handing it to him and keep picking up good yardage.
Back to Mixon on first down. And he can only manage to get a couple. 2nd and 8 coming up. But not much on that run, Charles.
No, that's exactly the way to execute a run blitz there. They guessed correctly that they would move the ball on the ground, honed in on it, and stopped them. Mark that down for a win in the defense's column.
On 2nd down, here's Mixon. 4 yards on the pickup there as it'll leave him with a 3rd and about 4 more for a first.
That's it. That's what you want. Straight ahead positive gain. Just keep that clock ticking.
Here's the 7th play of this drive. This is 3rd and 4. They'll stay on the ground. Mixon again. 147 yards rushing for him now as his sensational afternoon continues. At carries like that, that's how they're going to continue to salt this thing away here, Charles, in the 4th quarter.
Yeah, how about that? A new set of downs. Clock continues to move. No better way to close out a game than to tap those mastodons you have up front and say, guys, keep pounding them. Let's keep the ball, keep their offense on the sidelines, and let's close this one out.
That one looks like he'll throw here. And that's going to be incomplete. 12 seconds left.
So it looks like they still have some fight in them on this series because it seemed like things were headed for the red zone. But if this defense gets 2 more stops, they can keep them out of that area.
So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Out of the shotgun, they run with Mixon. 5 yards, now it's 3rd and 5. So this one in the win column now for the Cincinnati Bengals. And we talk so much about the turnover battle, determining who wins, who loses. This game, no exception. Air-free football, no turnovers at all, and they win it.
So this is one you don't have to convince your team that what you're saying is accurate. And you know what I'm talking about. Head coach always stands up in front of the team and says, guys, if we do this, this, and this, we'll win. And usually they say if we win the turnover battle, we'll win. Well, here's the proof right there. Win the turnover battle, go on to victory. Now the guys believe. You move on to the next lesson where you have to convince them. This one is now planted.
So for Cincinnati, it's back-to-back victories now after the Week 1 defeat as they move to 2-1. And they'll return home next week to take on the Miami Dolphins. Meanwhile, for the Jets, they'll fall to 1-2. And they'll be on the road next week as they travel to Pittsburgh to take on the Steelers. So that'll do it for us. For my partner, Charles Davis, and all the hard-working men and women on our crew, I'm Brandon Gaudin. You've been watching the NFL right here on EA Sports. With that, we say so long from MetLife Stadium.